Hey, Marissa, how are you tonight? She may be on mute. Marissa, I've been thinking so much about you these last few days, like trying to brainstorm. I think I have matching PJs as you too.
I have those too.
I know, I think we both do. Tish, we have to get you some of those PJs. I've been thinking a ton about you, like brainstorming, trying to really think about how you can really, I hate to say capitalize on this, but really like get your name and get connected with some of these people since everything is online right now with schooling and teachers. And how are you feeling? How is your community? I can't hear you. Marissa, can you hear Blair? Can you hear Marissa? Is your I know you're not muted, but are you connected to the audio?
While she's trying to get connected, I have to tell you guys this is so funny. But Lindsay just sent me a message that said, I literally manifested that baby coming out. And she sent me this video of when you and I did our last training with her, Kelly. And she said, I just want this baby to shoot out. And literally the baby like shot out. Like she got there just literally like shot out.
I know, I read her post today. I was like, oh my gosh.
I was like, girl, you totally manifested that. So cool.
Marissa, we still can't hear you. She's gonna leave and come back. Okay, cool. Cool.
Hi, Tish.
So Tish, moving forward, what did your dentist say? What did she say? She just said, I don't like this.
Well, I propose that, the phones go to, okay, so we're a root canal office, so yes, emergencies may happen. But, my proposal was, why don't you have the voicemail call you or the other doctor? You decide if you need to go in and then have one assistant go in with you. She said, no, we need to be there all day long in case somebody needs us. And I don't know. I just don't think it's right. So now.
Okay, I think Tish, you're frozen. Blair, is she frozen for you?
She's frozen. Is it our stuff? It can't be us because we both have problems.
Yeah, no, you're not frozen to me.
Tish, if you can hear us, get off and get back on.
Did you see me curling Bayla's hair?
I couldn't tell what you were doing. What were you doing?
Curling her hair with those old school foam rollers she wants to sleep in. I was like,
I literally did a watch party at the same time as our Zoom in the team. So I was doing a watch party into Thriving Live of our book club.
Oh, you were? Okay, that's awesome.
I was slightly distracted. Just for a little note of positivity, go look at this picture, you guys. Just like everyone needs a little positivity, right? Look how beautiful the canals of Venice are right now. You know, they used to be like, when I went 18 years ago for my honeymoon, this is how it looked, but it's gotten like really gross over the years. So they're saying since the lockdown, Venice's canals have been, oh wait, Marissa, can we hear you? I'll stop talking. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yay.
I was just talking to fill time.
But Marissa, tell us like how everything is in your community and any sort of, business and ideas and stuff that you have thought of.
Things are going pretty well. I got like on my insights, I got over over like 1,200 impressions on my last thing on Instagram. So that's really good.
That's
I'm
great.
really excited about that. And I read this book called, what was it called? 1 million followers in a month, or a million. It was by Brendan Kane. Have y'all heard of him? He's worked with Katie Couric and a couple other big people. So I read one of his books, and it was, you know, kind of ad heavy, you know, which is more what I'm doing, you know, because it's mine is more of a brand and less of a well, I don't know. I just feel like I've been different, you know, from everybody, just because it's my own kind of thing, and I'm trying to grow this brand and this product and this thing that I'm doing on my own. I don't have the support of other people and of a company behind me. And so I read this book, and they talked a lot about branching out into emerging markets like India, Indonesia, and things like that, and to not forget about global, which kind of frightened me at first. And then I really thought about it, and I don't know. I guess I have new things. I have new ideas now, you know, of directions that I want to go. It's my ultimate goal with this whole thing is to help other people. I could care less if people, if you know, English is the best thing ever, or if kids love to read, or if, you know, school is number one and all of that other stuff. My big goal is to help kids. And I don't know why I just froze. Sorry. I just had a weird second. But anyway, I was thinking about going global and kind of looking into those emerging markets as far as advertisements and things like that go, because they have more of a culture of sharing, you know, and liking and that sort of thing, to kind of grow my audience and then break into the United States English speaking audiences. And I don't know, seeing what happens from there.
Do they have the kind of resources there that you guys have here, where like you can sell things to each other? And
I don't know about that. I know that like in places, in emerging markets like India and Indonesia, Mexico, they're a few years behind us as far as technology goes, but that also makes things like this very exciting. And, you know, and teachers are teachers, you know, they have needs, you know, worldwide. And if I am able to grow a business and make some money and take a large amount of that profit and put back into, you know, clean water and structural things and things, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of where my heart is at and what I'm thinking. Like if I can go that direction before I start looking at an American market.
I think you have to look at both, but I think that doing that global is really smart, because those people in those areas haven't probably been exposed to all the amazing ideas that we've been exposed to here. And those kids deserve to be exposed to that from their teachers. So
yeah.
I think that's awesome. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think you do both.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I was thinking about like, because I'm going to start taking out ads on Facebook and Instagram, which is my bigger. And I was thinking about splitting because you know how you can pick, you know, where your demographics and whatever. I was kind of thinking, you know, like 30-70 maybe global in those emerging markets, and then 30 here.
I think
I've had some positive feedback from my followers and the people that they're inviting to my page, you know, so far, but it's not growing exponentially, which is okay. I mean, gosh, it's only been a couple of months. you know.
So I was sort of brainstorming about you today and yesterday, and how to get more eyes on you, because the reality is, like, as a mom who is now doing e-learning, yes, I've had a child home doing homeschool, but it's still been teacher guided.
Uh-huh.
So the schedule thing isn't as big of a deal to me, like having kids home, but the learning aspect. So now there's two, and I am the person, guiding them through this. Yes, they have this other stuff, but they have questions, right? So there is all of these resources that are out there, and I have been inundated. I mean, probably 100+ resources that have been sent to me. Okay. Now, how cool would it be? And there's a bunch of different Facebooks, everything popping up. Schools sending them to you, 2 different schools. I've got teacher friends. I'm on all these groups, moms clubs. How cool would it be to, like, be a resource for all things helpful on e-learning during this time? And what that could just be is a simple share once a day, spotlight share of the day. Where it's a resource. Like today, this lady, I saw this thing and I connected with her, and we happened to be Facebook friends. I was like, this is I don't have time to learn about it right now, but it's really cool if we're in this long term for e-learning, which we may be. She ended up working for the company. We ended up having this long conversation about, like, and we're building a relationship, right? Like, what if you had some of that, and you sharing them, they may share that or collaborate. You're building a list of potential users in the future.
That's what I've been doing for the last, like, week and a half or so. I've been, like, heavily sharing. Whenever I see a free resource by one of the big companies that are an educational company, I did a Texas Instruments today. I did Newsela, I did Zoom, I did several other ones. But then also I've been sharing, teachers who are, doing lessons via video or whatever. I've been sharing their stuff too. I've been doing a lot of that.
So could you name it something so it's like people look for it? If it were, like, called the same thing every day,
yeah,
it would be like, oh, there it is.
Like starting a hashtag or something, like a new hashtag. Yeah.
Just like
yeah.
I don't know, something hashtag e-learning spotlight, and then create it in your highlights there, because if I knew the same person, like there's some people that I follow that I really truly love their resources. I go and search for them. Like, I don't wait for them to come to me, because they've proven consistency, that I know that they're showing up and they're delivering me something every single day. It can be one something, and I may not need it, like, to read it every day, but when I need it, I go there and I know I can find it. I don't go searching for it because I trust them. So during this time, you could sort of be like, hey, I'm connecting all the dots for you guys here, and you have to talk about it a lot. I mean, it may be going, talking on your stories for 14 days straight about Apple Pie is going to be, sharing and being a resource for all of your resources. Like, come here if you more educational e-learning, you can even break it down into, like, elementary, middle, and high. I mean, I like, as far as, like, the highlights go,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just sort of like ways. I just feel like if you can get exposure, and then when you share something, you could reach out to that person and just say, hey, this is what you may already be doing, but this is what Apple Pie is all about. Are you open to, like, us supporting each other's platforms? Like, I'm trying to get this out there. This will be helpful to your users. Because here's the thing, these people, who knows what's going to happen. Here's the thing. A lot of teachers make money over the summer tutoring, right? Face-to-face tutoring. If we get into the summer and they can't do that, like, wouldn't it be great for them to be able to have your platform to utilize things?
Yeah. So what's a hashtag, guys? What do y'all think? What are some ideas?
So is e-learning like a buzzword, right? I mean, is that like something, I know that's what our school district's calling it. Is that something that it's consistent called?
Honestly, I haven't looked up e-learning. I've looked up digital classroom, digital learning, distance learning, online classroom, all of those things. And I haven't seen terribly much different.
Well, you could just make sure you hashtag 10
So
hashtags all the time.
416,000.
Which one?
E-learning has 416,000, but e-learning solutions has only 1,000, which I think would be the one to use. E-learning solutions.
I have been using Corona Classroom a lot.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And COVID Classroom.
Yeah, and hashtag online learning platform only has 1,000 plus.
Yeah. Okay. Online platform. And I'll stick with my Corona Classroom too. Okay. Thanks, gals.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the new page? It looks better, I think. The my Instagram page, I don't know if y'all looked at it, but I changed all the things. I did all the things that y'all said. And then
I love the green, like the pop of green. It stands out a lot.
thanks, man. I got a compliment. I got a private message that said, "I love your new look." So that's good.
Aw, I love the,
Mm-hmm.
so cute.
Thank you. Thanks.
So what ended up happening when those guys commented on the TikTok?
He commented on my Instagram too.
Oh, yeah, Instagram. Okay, but it was a TikTok video, right?
Mm-hmm. It was a TikTok video, and then I reposted that on Facebook and Instagram, and then Gary Brooks commented on my Instagram whenever I reposted that stuff. Just a bunch of thumbs up, but
That's awesome.
No.
Hi, Sarah.
yeah. So it was really good, and I commented back, and I wrote him too personally, but he still hasn't read it yet. That's okay, because he's got a freaking million followers on Facebook, and
But I would tag him multiple times. So like, I love Sarah Blakely. She's the owner of Spanx. Like, I'm obsessed with her. And how she parents and how her marriage is and how she's a businesswoman. And so for Marriage Movement, that's something that Ryan and I do. I probably like cyber stalked her for like a couple months before and tagged her and her husband and like tons of stuff that we did. And so finally she put it up on her stories. It was like, oh my gosh, so thankful that so-and-so tagged me about this. I'm so glad you got something from it, or like whatever. But
yeah,
they'll notice after a while. You just got to do it consistently. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sarah, how are you doing?
Good. Sorry I'm late. It's been kind of a crazy day.
How was first day of school?
Awful.
Oh,
Awful.
I'm sorry.
It's overwhelming. Like, my child's in kindergarten. Like, can't we just let him be a kid?
Yeah. And what are they really doing in kindergarten?
Oh, he has like 6 assignments every day. Like, every day.
It's a bit much.
It's
20 minutes?
It's supposed to be 200 minutes of work. He's 5. Anyway, moving on.
I know.
Well,
Well, hopefully you'll be able to get outside some. It's going to be really nice these next 2 days here. So maybe you can do some assignments outside. You can get his wiggles out.
Right.
Sarah, that actually for your business would be great. Every time you go outside with him, it's a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, Instagram TV. I mean,
Yeah, we've been outside for the past couple days, and I actually was using it to like get like to connect with people online. Like I've been doing some different projects. And then today I just like went off the rails with everything. Like everything I had been like the structure I had just disappeared. Tomorrow's a new day though.
That's a great live.
Right?
So how did do you have a backup plan for your events in April, your networking event? Because I know
No,
that was one of your big 90-day goals.
um, I mean, it's just going to get pushed out.
Have you considered doing it virtually?
Ugh, no. I mean, no, I have a call with them next Friday. So we'll figure out a little bit more then. I think that's the 26th. I have a call with them. We haven't had one since all this happened, so I'll find out more then. But
I mean, a virtual event would be great because then you guys are getting all the potential people that are interested in being part of that to see like what it's about. So it'd actually be easier because you're trying to weed out, right? Because you only have so many people.
yeah, I mean, really, it's not about weeding people out. It really is about getting like everybody together. Like this first launch is getting everybody together and like building excitement and just networking and like supporting each other. And like we had all these raffles planned and like just really cool stuff, like in-person stuff. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. Try not to like be down about it. So they'll probably just push the lunch out for whenever is a more appropriate time. I don't know yet.
Well, if you talk to them and you decide you want to do something virtually, just because you never know. I mean, here's the way I look at it. If anyone can do anything virtually right now to create community,
Yeah.
like you should be jumping all over it, because people need that. Like we're just a few days, maybe a weekend to this. We have been self-quarantining just for a few days, but I will tell you, like I have felt like I've been in somewhat of a quarantine for 3 months, in a sense, like myself, not, but my family. Yes. People need that. Think about what it's going to feel like 3 weeks in. People need community. And this is a really great way. We can't get together, but you can get to know people and you can get people's personality and people have something to look forward to. You could even change it into, instead of it's a one time a quarter or this big event, it's like, hey, it's every other week. It's a Monday morning motivation gathering. Like it could turn into something like that where you're creating community. It's the same feel, just looks a little different. And then when we are, when coronavirus is gone, it's less, we're able to, stop the social distancing. You've already got that community built.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a thought. I don't know what their rules are, but even if you don't go with that specific organization, it doesn't mean that Sarah can't do something on her own to build community for when you launch that organization. You've got that community built.
Yeah. It's just it's challenging to wrap my head around in the sense that like everything was mapped out. Like they have everything mapped out in their business plan. So I really hadn't thought about having to do that myself. You know what I mean? Like I was the networking part, not the organizing part. So
Yeah.
I just got to get with them on our call and kind of see, where they're at, as well. So yeah, I don't know yet, but I love the idea. I do. And we'll probably have to do something. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely.
What about for your team, Sarah? Because you have some people that you were hoping to move up in rank so that you can move up in rank.
Yeah, so actually a couple different things are going on. I'm gonna do a team Zoom tomorrow night, like just a small one. just like me and my builders, just to see like where I can support them, kind of give them like their next steps, because they're all kind of in the same place. There's one person that I'm just starting over with. Like, she had just fell off for so long. I'm just starting her fresh. And then actually what's what's really cool is I met a random person at Home Depot the other night buying plants. And somehow while I'm checking out, I was in self-checkout, we started talking, and she is interested in the business. She works at Home Depot. And we were talking about weight, and then tonight we were messaging, and I was like, hey, she told me she lost one of her jobs, and I was like, hey, I can teach you to do what I do. And she was like, I would love to learn. So I was like, sweet. So
That's awesome.
hopefully I can get her on my team call tomorrow night as well. But I'm going to do that
Great.
validation call first.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea to invite like anyone who is curious, like as time goes on, just in general, anyone who is curious, being a fly on the wall on your team Zooms or your team gatherings, you know, having them on it. Just so they can sort of see, you know, what it feels like, what it looks like, you know, the culture that you've created, the community that you have. And I think a lot of people like, then there's no like misreading, you know, people know what they're expecting. So
My company has a virtual Super Saturday going on this weekend, from 11 to 1 on Saturday. It's like some of the big names, like some of the really powerful speakers that like we see on stage at our big events. And so I've been inviting, like, I did a 3-way call last Friday with someone who didn't think that like she wanted to do the business, but she's done network marketing before. So she was kind of interested, and now she's getting more and more. So she's going to be on Saturday. I've got like 3 brand new people that are going to be on that Super Saturday call. And that is like, I feel like for me, the first time I ever heard these particular speakers, it like lit me on fire. So I've been sending the link out for them to register for that for this weekend as well. I'm like, you're home, you might as well hop on. So
That's awesome. I'm so glad they're doing that for you guys. That's great.
yeah, I think this has actually been planned for months. So it just happens to fall at the right time.
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other fun things that you can do is try to get your team, like all of you guys, if you can't be together, obviously, say instead like, hey, let's all plan to hop on and let's message each other during it. Like, let's message back and forth, like what's your aha moments. Maybe put everybody in a thread together on Facebook Messenger so you guys can message with each other during it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the biggest thing right now is just that community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. You
It's
also
hard.
can do something very similar, Sarah, to like share your own stories, you know, or people within your, you know, either in your team, your customers, even like sidelines or anything that you have, like just getting the stories out there, and doing it virtually. You know, it's another thing just to be able to invite people to, and try different times and different nights, and see, you know, it can be a Zoom, it can be a Zoom to Facebook or StreamYard to Facebook Live. There's a lot of different things going on with the online like resources now. We've had some trouble going Zoom to Facebook Live. It's not been because Zoom is being used by so many other people now than it was before.
Yeah.
But StreamYard's a great backup, and it's really easy to use.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to, tonight was the night we were supposed to bring like our, I forget what it's called, but like, how, I have it written down. Where's my notebook? What you guys talked about the other night, like our plan for our new builders.
Yes.
So I think you guys probably know this because you've worked with Isogenics people before. my particular team, my upline created what we call our 6 simple systems. So there's like a presentation system. It's all about, it literally walks you through like the questions to ask. And then we have our Facebook system. We have our business building system. So literally I just tried to get on the site. For some reason it's down, but it's 6 or 7. We have Instagram now, so it's actually 7. But it's like something that it's duplicatable. So I just give my builders access to it. I give them the password so that they have that. So luckily for me, I haven't had to create all of the things that you were talking about.
That's so good.
Yeah. It's not company wide. It's like my direct upline created this.
That's awesome. So that's basically what we were trying to teach you guys to do, is make sure you had something.
Yeah.
So what I would do is take what they already have, but figure out which one you utilize and have the most success with. And then that's the one that you say like, hey, there's 6 other options, but here's the one that I find that I get the greatest success from, and really teach from that and be a master of that so that you're comfortable sharing it with them.
Yes, they're all like, one is like, how do you talk to a potential customer? In other words, how do you talk to a potential builder? How do you use Facebook? How do you use Instagram? How do you quick start your business? So we actually use them all, but it just depends on like where you are in your business. But how do you talk to a potential customer? I actually print it out and hand it to my new builders and say, when you're on the phone with somebody, have this in front of you.
So smart. I love it. Scripts are huge, because my first 6 months in business, like every time I would say something, I would like type it up and then I would print it out and put it in front of me for the next person. Because it gives you the confidence that you need as you're speaking to people. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, like, your call was awesome, that you basically touched on everything that my team has given me. And it gave me validation that, like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be passing on. Like, you guys are touching on the same exact things, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you should go and thank your upline for sure, because most teams don't have that.
Yeah.
So it is awesome that they do. Yeah, for sure. Make sure you thank them for that, because it is nice. And that way you can, because there is a statistic out there that shows that like 80-something% of people that join network marketing or direct sales are doing it alongside a full-time or a part-time job. They have to have a duplicatable system that's easy for them to jump in and do in those nooks and crannies of their life.
Yep.
So it's awesome. I love that.
Well, and I also think that, I know it'll show you in the future, if it hasn't already, how serious people are. You know, sometimes people will come and they will say, like, they'll ask a bunch of questions, and they're great questions, but if they go through your onboarding process, they'll be right there. And so a lot of times you can just redirect, because that was one of the biggest mistakes I personally made when growing a team, and it was in rapid growth, is I was showing and telling and doing every time everybody had a question, instead of letting them and teaching them and coaching them to resource for themselves, right? And then I really had to learn to sort of like to let them find it, right? Because if you don't create that and teach that and coach that environment, then when they grow and they have that, they're going to be doing and telling instead of directing to where the answer is. And after you read through it, obviously you can coach through those specific things, but it allows them to really sort of see the onboarding process. And we've used several different types of onboarding, you know, different types of systems. In fact, we're in the process of even, you know, getting better, because there's always better tools out there to even be better than you are. So I think that that's incredible, and it'll show you the seriousness of your person, you know. And also too, Sarah, one thing that you can utilize that for is if you ever have anyone that is like feels stuck, or they're like want to re-engage, you know, you may have some of those people now that they're home, you know, financial things maybe in a different place than they were before. You will have the ability to say, hey, start over, go back to this and pretend like you're brand new and start fresh again. And you yourself can even go through those things. I know when I feel like I'm getting stuck and I'm like not getting back to my basics, I myself take myself as if I'm brand new. And so just because sometimes when you've been doing things for a while, you forget what it feels like, right? So that's great that you guys have that. Really, really is.
You're absolutely right. Like you just nailed it with a couple things. There's people who tell me they want it and they give me their why and they're passionate about it and I can feel it, but they won't get on the website where the systems are. They won't get on there. And I'll say to them, "Hey, did you check out that video of so and so? Like, what did you think of that?" And weeks will go by and they still haven't done it. And I'm like, they won't get on the calls, on our Monday night calls. They won't. And it's like, I'm giving you these tools. So I've made the mistake of like hand holding and wasting my time. And I'm finally learning exactly what you just said. Like, give them the tools and let them do it. Like, no one handheld me because I took off running. Like, I was given the opportunity and I just did it. Like, I didn't need anyone to handhold me. And I am finally learning that, like, someone who really wants it will do the same thing that I did. Like, I shouldn't have to handhold them. I should show them where it is, answer their questions when they, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm learning kind of all the things that you were just saying. It's taken me some time.
Still takes me time.
It does. It did me as well. Now I know different, but I think that that's part of a learning curve, you know?
Yeah.
Now I feel like you have to think each and every person, one of the biggest things that we have that is valued to us and just in life is our time, right? And so you have to make sure that you're spending your time in the spots that are serving where it needs to happen. And I know myself, I spent during that time of growth and new growth as a leader, spent a lot of time with, you know, people that weren't spending time on themselves. And so I sort of feel like it's a way that they get to earn time. And we all should feel that way. Every single person should feel that way. I remember when people used to say that, I was like, oh my God, it sounds so selfish. You know, it's like, it's not. It's protecting you because, you know, down the road, you want to be able to spend time with your family. You want to be able to do these things. And if you protect your time, you always will be able to.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I was spending a lot of time wanting it more for them more than they wanted it for themselves. And it's when you finally figure it out, it's like so frustrating. And it's like I only have myself to blame for like putting my own self in that position. So
Yeah.
it's definitely been a learning curve there because I'm a helper.
Yes.
Like
That's also what makes you a great leader. So it's just learning that.
oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I think
because
Tish, you probably felt the same way too.
if you don't have that compassion, you won't go very far. So it's very normal for a leader to go
Thank you.
So did you guys have any questions at all about the cash flow quadrant? Tish, I just posted the
Oh, okay.
the actual graphic for you.
Okay. Now, how do you do a virtual party?
that way. Ooh, good question. Are you talking about a virtual part, like you want to have showcase your products?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna literally walk through that completely on Sunday night on Bless Mom Bosses, but I will send you over the Trello board where you can like copy everything and use all of it. So basically a virtual party, you want to set up a Facebook group and then you want to invite people to it and you want to host a live in there. So you want to make it like 4 days long. We have different things for you to post each day with the end results of like if you set it up on Monday, you're inviting Sunday and Monday, where Thursday night or Friday night is the night that you're having everybody join you live. And either you're doing the live or you're asking one of your leaders to do the live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll share all that. So Tish, send me by Facebook message your email address and I'll make sure I send it over to you. The total Trello.
Okay.
You can copy it verbatim. You can take all the graphics in there. I'll share the generic one and I'll also share the one for our product and company.
Awesome. And then the book reading.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up.
So that's awesome. I'm so excited about that. So we will be inviting people to come to Bless Mama Bosses and do it there, right? or on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can, and Sarah, this is, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but this is really just, you know, an idea that we decided to do to create community, right? So every and all people are invited. We won't be talking, like we're not going to be promoting Bless Mama Bosses or anything else. It's really, truly just a way to serve and gather people. So invite all. Tisha, it would be great for your group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take all the posts that, you know, we're posting and just stick them in there. Sarah, if you have an opportunity to any of your groups, you know, mom groups or anything like that, invite them on. It's literally just going to be a place so you can get on Zoom. Or are you, Tish, you're in the Rachel Hollis group with me, right? No, okay. But you can just get on Zoom and we'll be on here. You can talk if you want. We'll have questions that are prompted for discussion. But it'll just be a really great place to come, and most likely we'll be in our PJs with having wine and get to hang out for a few Wednesday nights together.
I'm excited about that. That's a really good idea.
The book is really great.
Today.
Did you start it?
No.
I have to order it.
Yeah, order it.
I was supposed to start it. That's why Kelly asked me that. But honestly, I just haven't had one free minute. I had 1 hour of freedom and I spent it playing games with my kids. So.
And you should. Yes,
Yeah.
more important. You're a speed reader. Listen, you'll have the book read and I'll be like a third of the way through it.
Yeah, if I like it, I can finish a book in 2 days. If it's hard to read, I'm like,
Well, what I love, I've read parts of it already because I've actually had it for quite some time. But what I love about it is it's like you can go and read a specific chapter. Some of my most favorite books are books that I can use as like a manual for life, right? Like Blair and I are like obsessed with the Jack Canfield book. It literally sits on my desk, that and the affirmation book sits on my desk, because anytime I feel like I'm struggling with something, I know I can go pick one chapter and read, 8 to 15 pages. And it's like a resource for me, for my mindset, for like pity party, whatever you got going on. I feel that this will be that as well.
it's
What?
next to my Bible. Jack Canfield's Success Principles is next to my Bible. It's like the 2 books that I read all the time.
Because this is all about the lies that you tell yourself. It's a man's perspective. Like basically it's a perspective on, from someone who is not like overly motivated, overly, engaged, and coming from a low point in their life to a higher point in their life. So,
So it's uplifting.
it's very
Yes.
uplifting.
Okay, good.
And I think you'll really be able to identify with some of the things. And I don't know if have y'all read Rachel Hollis's Girl Wash Your Face? Girl Stop
No,
Apologizing.
I wrote that down too, so I'm gonna get that one.
Okay,
too.
so what was the first one? Girl Wash Your Face. Yes. It's written similar, like in a similar style as that, but obviously from a completely different perspective. So, but it's all about the lies that we tell ourselves.
Cool.
So yeah, use it to build your community. That's why we want to invite, any and all people, especially those, I will tell you, like, especially people whose lifestyles, which I think almost everybody's lifestyle has been really impacted. Having kids at home, having college kids at home, working from home, having, all different things that are going on right now. I think that this will really give people a little bit of a different perspective. And, who knows, if this goes well, we're just doing it the first week of May. We may do another one too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks for doing that.
You're welcome. Oh, we have a Google form too that we're just putting out because we realized it was like growing like wildfire. And we're like, we're not going to be able to remind everybody of these things. So we have a Google form that people can fill out, and we're going to email them a reminder about the chapters that we're talking about that week. So make sure you grab the Google form and just attach it to whatever you're sending to people.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. You guys have anything else? I know Marissa had to hop off. No?
So
Okay, so next week I was going to tell you guys, I was looking at the videos. There's several videos, lots of extra bonus stuff popping up that we're doing. I'm looking at our schedule, Blair.
I know one is definitely trade shows, and although it doesn't seem appropriate for right now, because there won't be any trade shows going on. Actually, Kelly and I had one planned for the end of March in Nashville, and it just got canceled.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's really good information. So I would definitely watch it, take some notes, and keep those notes for when everything goes back to normal this summer, you know, and jump into some trade shows maybe for the fall or events. And I can't remember what else we had on there. Does it say, Kelly?
I think that's it. Now that I think.
Maybe like one other, like maybe like a recap.
I'm looking.
I might have put them up. Let me see if I can find them.
I
Well,
think
isn't next, okay, so next Wednesday is when the book starts.
Yes, because this is our last Wednesday together. So
Yes.
next one, yep.
So I would want to announce that soon so that people can get their book.
yes. So the first, yes, announce it as soon, as soon as you can, but we will next Wednesday. We're just going to be gathering.
Okay,
Blair, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're just gathering. We'll probably go through like the introduction, just like
Okay.
sharing a little bit about, I can share a little bit about, why we decided to do this, who's invited, but we won't start the actual like chapters 1 through 3, I think we have, until the following. So people will still have time to buy their book. Obviously, if people can go on and get it, that's great. Or they get Audible.
But we'll ask some questions there because the whole
Yeah.
point of it is to get people like interacting and talking. So it's like we're leading the discussion, but we're not talking the whole time. So we'll ask questions like, of course, week 1, because it's Rachel Hollis's husband, we'll probably ask some questions about like, have you ever read her books before? What did you like or dislike about her books? What are you hoping that you'll get out of this book? Knowing Rachel, right? Like, so we'll ask some questions like that just to get discussions flowing and going so that people feel comfortable in the first week once they start reading to actually like engage.
so you're going to plant some people in there that are going to definitely answer to like that conversation.
Yeah, you, Tish. And you, Sarah.
That's actually a really great idea, Tish. I didn't think about it.
We actually didn't even think about that, but that's really good. We're just
Especially the first night.
Honestly, I thought people would want to talk because they'd be so sick of being just stuck at home, right? Like, I have a great marriage, but I can tell you after like a week, I'm going to need some women time.
Yeah, that is actually a really, really good idea. And you guys, make sure to tag Dave Hollis when you, like, if you share it on your stories. I'm literally manifesting that he is going to see this book club and he's going to come on to our book club one night. Okay. I'm manifesting it. So tag him. I've already written the publishers. I sent the publishers an email. I don't know. I thought it would be super fun. I don't even know who's going to be participating, but I thought, oh my gosh, this would be amazing if he just surprised everyone and popped on and just said, thanks for reading my book. What a cool community to create, So
That's cool.
Y'all manifest it with me.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys very soon, okay? Y'all have a great rest of your evening.
All right. Thanks, you too.
Keep positive thoughts. If y'all need anything, just reach out to us.
All right. Thanks.
We're here to help. Bye, guys.
Thank you.